So tradition is something that is steeped in an idea, a feeling, a purpose. My mom looked out for people and they looked out for her. You had this community based around love, nurturing, not only about making money, it was about people caring for each other. She was diligent. She practiced the things that she taught us. If you believe in yourself and you have integrity and you have the drive and you're willing to work hard, sky's the limit.
For this Chef Talk with Kyle Cherek, I catch a coffee with Karen Gill, personal chef of the Down to Earth Chef. Because she is a personal chef, there is no kitchen per se that we could meet in. There's no restaurant we could sit down at. So instead we met for coffee at Valentine Coffee on the edge of Wauwatosa. It's Chef Talk with Kyle Cherek and personal chef Karen Gill over coffee at Valentine. Why do you do what you do? Do you not like people? Do you not like other chefs?
I like
you don't
people
want to be
so
around
much
them?
that I want to cook for them.
Okay, privately, at their behest.
Yeah, so to go back in history a little bit, when I decided that I wanted to cook for a living, I really didn't want to work in a restaurant setting.
Okay.
So my history, my background is...
Why? There's the why.
Yeah.
There's the why. Why didn't you want to work in a restaurant setting?
So my background is in theater. I worked as a stage manager for 10 years. So I worked nights and weekends and holidays and all that schedule.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how can I cook for people on sort of a 9-to-5 basis?
And not manage the monkeys.
Yeah, less managing. Way less managing of monkeys.
Right.
And so I really did a lot of research, like what is out there that's not restaurant-based? How can I cook for people? Mm-hmm. And I kind of stumbled around into the world of personal chefing and went, this is very interesting. I always assumed it was just for, Uber celebrities out in LA, New York City.
Right.
What is someone in Milwaukee going to do this in 2004?
Thank you, buddy. Right on.
That looks good.
Look at how pretty. I mean, seriously, can we have a moment for the angel wings or the swooping dove or the pot plant growing out of the earth, whatever it is? Well, but I came to know of you through all of the public events that you did, which is antithetical to the term private chef.
Right.
Because you were in the public. We were on stages together doing cooking demos.
Yeah.
Which I understand if you need more, clients, this is a good move.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I love cooking privately in people's homes, but I'm also a bit of a public person as well. We can blame that on my theater background.
Makes sense.
Even though I was always in the technical part of theater, we were sort of forced to learn the onstage stuff too.
Yeah.
So I'm very good at that. I can still be very presentational. And so my love of doing demos and cooking classes, has sort of been birthed out of that. And also necessity of marketing, because how do I find private clients? It's a very it's a very different type of person, usually. Although it's becoming a little more mainstream now.
So you're cooking other people's food. I mean, like, where do you find your interesting, happy... Every chef I know wants to cook their food at some point. So where do you find that space?
I have found it in a couple different ways. One is through teaching cooking classes. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people just want to have a party in their home. They want to get 6 or 8 of their friends together. It's kind of more about the camaraderie, the wine, and look, we have the chef here, a little bit of entertainment. And so I will throw in the things that I like to cook for those things.
Right. Do you love what you do? Do you like what you do? Did you do it simply because you wanted to have a job and not in theater?
No. When I first started, it was total love of food. I just was immersed in it at the time. So it was a huge hobby. I got into food as a way to entertain. Mm-hmm. Have friends over, impress my now husband. When we were dating, it was what kind of fun meals can I
So that worked?
make? It did.
Yeah.
It worked. And I do still love what I do. I just feel like the challenges of everything that's out there. So I love to cook. It's a creative process. It makes sense that I went from theater to food.
Yeah, it truly does. I mean, that is a perfect straight line.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get very zen in the kitchen. I just love the physical process of it, even though I might be done after 12 hours. Prior to that time, it's just working with my hands and moving things and thinking about how everything fits together, and it's a timing process. Maybe that's the old stage manager left in me, timing things out and how to prepare things in certain order. That's one reason I love to cook. I love to nourish people the way they need to be nourished. So even though sometimes I buck against that and think like, oh, just eat it, or oh, why didn't you like it? Work a little harder, figure it out, figure out what their needs are. When I can give that gift to somebody who's missing it for whatever reason, because they're too busy or because they can't do it physically, there's just something really joyous in that.
Party fillets, one is rare. Some filet, one rare. One chicken, party style. 7 party salmon.